Today, a sleeper cab is a standard part of any long-haul truck. We know exactly what it should look like. But 70 years ago? Nobody knew the rules. Engineers were experimenting wildly to find the best place for a driver to rest. They tried putting beds in trailers, on roofs, and even under the cab floor. Before we got to modern comfort, the industry had to go through an era of bizarre experiments. Let's look at the strangest ones. Check out this photo. That is a seriously exotic solution. The sleeping compartment isn't in the truck cab at all. It's actually inside the trailer behind it. This design was used back in the 40s by the Fruehauf trailer company. Back then, engineers were experimenting with everything. You could find sleeper boxes mounted above the cab, like on this autocar. Or, take a look at this Corbitt 25TD from 1946. See that box attached to the front of the trailer, right where the reefer unit usually goes? That's not for cargo. That's the bedroom. In all these cases, the sleeper was totally separate from the driver's seat. After World War II, things got a bit more standardized with the mass production of the sleeper box. You can see it here on this 1947 Kenworth 500 series. There were two versions, a separate box, or one attached to the cab. Even military Ford tractors used these separate sleeper boxes. Now, here's a name you might not know today, Corbitt. In 1951, they built a monster called the D600. Just look at that massive hump on the front. That is truly weird. But that hump had a purpose. It created enough extra space inside so the passenger seat could fold flat into a full-sized bed. A true marvel of engineering. In 1954, Kenworth got creative with the TCF cab beside engine model. It already looked strange with the cab offset to the side. But when they added a sleeper berth, it looked twice as bizarre. Presumably, that little extension on the side was the bedroom. And then, we have the Birdhouse. A sleeper compartment stuck right on top of the roof. Unlike the trucks from the 40s, this one is actually connected to the cab interior. Sure, it saved space on the chassis, but climbing up there? Not exactly convenient. This is the first white Freightliner WF-1064 with this design, released in 1953. Here is a puzzle for you. The Convoy Transport Company, 1953. They put the engine and transmission between the axles to save space. The empty space under the cab was turned into a transverse sleeping module. To keep the total height legal, they had to load the cars on top at a weird angle. Talk about overthinking it. Now, this is just funny. A budget sleeper for a trucks. It was basically a suitcase strapped to the roof. The lid flipped down, and canvas sides popped up like a tent. Obviously, you couldn't drive like that. But even when parked, it was a failure. Dust and water leaked in constantly. Unsurprisingly, truckers hated it, and the idea died quickly. Another variant was adding a penthouse to a factory cab, like on this 1963 Ford H1000. It looks like an alien object stuck on the roof. It added comfort, sure, but drivers felt like acrobats climbing that vertical ladder every night. Down in Mexico, a manufacturer called Ramirez had a simpler idea in 1968. Their 22 model didn't have a separate sleeper. The seat just turned into a sofa. But how do you fit a full-grown man across a narrow cab? Easy. They just stamped huge bubbles into the doors to make room for your head and feet. Simple and effective. Finally, in the 1970s, the real revolution happened. The US market saw a boom in luxury sleeper compartments mounted behind the cab. Companies like Mercury from California started offering sleepers that felt like tiny apartments. But designers at a firm called LiveLab went even further. They built the first true living modules. Shower, toilet, microwave, kitchen sink, fridge, TV, things that seemed like science fiction back then. These were the ancestors of the massive American sleepers we see today. So, which one of these would you dare to sleep in? The canvas tent on the roof, or the box on the front of the trailer? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip through truck history, smash that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.